And he's back on Hot Stove on this Monday. Adam, good morning. Good to see you, man.
Good morning, guys. Good to be back on.
Good to have you back on the south side of Chicago is what White Sox fans are all saying collectively. I think your re-addition really moved the needle on social media. So tell us how you're feeling and tell us how the deal went down.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to, like I said, head back to Chicago. What an experience to be traded, 4 years ago, and be able to go to the Washington Nationals and, have some success there, and then to be able to come back and like I mentioned early on, the team's ready to win. Rick has done a tremendous job to put us in a really good position to win and win now. And like I said, that was kind of what I was looking for. Going into free agency, I wanted to be on a team that was ready to win and would like to win another World Series. And like I said, we have a good chance to do it. But, the process with COVID and free agency was my first. Going through it was a little different, a lot of uncertainties. But, Rick called me right away as soon as, my option to get picked up with the Nationals. And just having the, being so familiar with the city, familiar with the White Sox and the front office and all the people that are involved there, it seemed like an easy fit for me. And like I said, just can't wait to get started.
Hey, Adam, I'm curious, after the trade, you trained obviously in Florida and played in Washington in the National League, and the White Sox trained in Arizona, and we're looking at the trade board right here. We'll come back to that in a second. But how often did you get a chance to see the White Sox play over the last couple seasons?
Yeah, honestly, not that often. Once you're, that was, of course, a big transition was going back to the NL and learning the NL players and the pitching staff and the teams and how they go about their business and trying to, learn the leagues. So honestly, I didn't look back too frequently, just because, like I said, you're so focused on the NL. You play in 3 years the AL, but like I said, every now and again they pop up on the screen, like Giolito doing an unbelievable thing. Tim Anderson, of course, is I feel like a stay-at-home name now with what he's done in the game, and what the free agent signings throughout the last couple of years were. So I had to get a quick refresher, once free agency hit. But it's amazing what they've done in the last 4 years in order to prepare and make the playoffs last year, and then, like I said, be able to make another push, hopefully this year.
So I want to look at the board again of the trade because this is when you're a good player. They trade you for Giolito, Lopez, and Dunning, and they turned Dunning into Lance Lynn because they traded him in the Lance Lynn deal. When that deal happened, everybody's like, look at what they gave up for Adam Eaton. Yet you go and really lead the Nationals with that club to win a World Series and made a lot of sense later. And now you come back to this team. This is a shrewd baseball move all the way around. Your thoughts when there was so much criticism for you when you got traded, like they gave up too much for this guy. What's that like going through that when you're that other guy? And redemption obviously came with the World Series championship, but that came a couple years later. What was that like in the heat of it all when you got traded for all those top prospects and everybody's like, what in the world?
Well, the competitor in you says that they're wrong, but then the person in you is like, well, maybe they're right. So, you kind of go back and forth with it. But, everyone's got an opinion, and they're valued that opinion. But, I think on both sides of the spectrum, either you're Rizzo or Rick Hahn, you make the deal in order to hopefully be correct. And I think, like I said, I think both sides have won out on the deal. We won a World Series with the Nationals. And the White Sox have gotten some really good pieces in order to rebuild, and then they have. So, like I said, what a whirlwind of events in order for me then to sign back, and then, of course, like I said, to be able to get Lance Lynn out of my deal as well, to hopefully, like I said, catapult us, into the playoffs, and hopefully, like I said, make a nice little run here. So, I'm excited to get started.
So 2021 is going to be your 10th year in the big leagues, Adam. And in your previous 9, you played for 4 major league managers, right? You had Gibby in Arizona to begin your career. You had Robin for 3 years in Chicago, your first time there. Dusty in D.C. and Dave Martinez. So you've gone through the, quote, new manager thing a few times. Do we non-players, do we kind of overestimate the new manager impact? Like, you've done this before, right? Is it a big deal to get to know the new skipper, or does it just happen organically?
I think it happens organically. I think the new skipper, like you said, I'm kind of a tough player to ask because I'm very old school. Being a smaller guy, and I kind of like the hard nosed skipper that kind of doesn't say much and says things abrupt when things need to be said abruptly. Like I said, Davey's very new school. I loved him to death. I went and rant and raved with him on the radio, Membo radio the other day. But at the same token, Tony, being with us is huge. And like I said, I'm very excited to be able to sit down with him and then learn from him and his experiences. He's done so much for the game of baseball. And like I said, that old school manager, I'm just, like I said, I'm excited to get back to that too as well. So like I said, you got to let it kind of happen organically. He's called me a couple times and we've had some long conversations, and I know he writes, letters to people, and in order to get to know guys, they can get a very old school mentality. And, like I mentioned, I'm excited to get into spring training and just see how he runs camp and just let it come organically.
He's going to love you, man. You guys are going to love. I'm telling you, Adam Eaton is going to be on the Tony La Russa favorite sons list by May.
No doubt about it. He probably already is. Hey, last thing, Adam, before we let you go. Obviously, I'm partial to the little guys as well. I thought you could have been MVP of the World Series when you guys won. How different a player are you now, this time, than you were when in Chicago before?
I think the core is still there, but I think at the same token, I can say night and day. It's just, hair on fire, 155% every single second of the day, when I was with the White Sox. And then when I went to the Nationals, just watching the older guys play, the veteran leadership that we had with the Nationals did a tremendous amount of shaping for me, just watching them go about their business, watching them really make pushes, energy wise in certain aspects, and then trying to be a little more refined in other aspects, and just trying to make it through that 162 game schedule. And then, to be able to learn from those guys, I'm just, like I said, I'm excited to come back to the White Sox. As an older guy that has been around, the 162 game schedule long enough to kind of have an understanding of what it takes to get through it and then make it deep into the playoffs and win a World Series. So, like I said, on one token, I'm still kind of the hard-nosed player that wants to go out there and play every single day and give it 110%. But the same token, I think I've learned through a lot of failure and a lot of dumb things that I've done on the baseball field in order to be better. So.
Adam, congratulations on the deal, man. Awesome. Really going to be a fun time watching you and that club this year. So thanks for taking some time with us. Happy holidays to you and your family.